everybody, welcome back to a new video on Pure Power Panda. I'm really excited for today's video because today I'm going to show you my Filofax setup for the year 2015. You might remember that I already did a Filofax setup video for this year's Filofax, which was the Filofax Finsbury in the raspberry color in the personal size and the Filofax Penny Bridge in the pocket size. I'm going to link you the old video right here. I did like these Filofaxes and their setup, but the problem was by the end of the year I was kind of running out of space because I had so much more appointments and stuff to do, and it just didn't fit into those tiny boxes anymore and it was getting really messy. So I decided I'm gonna purchase a new A5 Filofax. But since I spent so much money on these Filofaxes, I mean the Finsbury alone costs already around 80 euros, which is probably close to $100 because it's made of leather. And then when you buy all of the other Filofax accessories you need for these, you're gonna be close to over 100 euros. And then since I had two, I spent even more money. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a new one, but I'm gonna try to make it as affordable as possible. By the way, speaking of money, I know that Filofax is a pretty expensive hobby, but that's what it is. It is a hobby. Most Filofax crazy people like me, they just love stationery and everything that has to do with stationery, and their hearts light up when they go into an office supply store, and they just love post-its and pencils and everything that has to do with writing and crafts. And you can just count me in with these type of people. That's why I don't mind spending a little more money on my personal planner. But that being said, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you don't have to buy a Filofax. You can just get any other type of personal planner and just personalize it as well. So Filofax isn't a must, but it was a must for me just because I love Filofax and the quality and everything about Filofax. So the Filofax I got for 2015 is this one. That's the Domino Patent in the hot pink color in the A5 size. This one I bought in Germany for 39 euros, so that is pretty cheap for a Filofax because it's made of plastic on the outside. Another reason why I got it is because you have so much space in there to put stuff in there. You can see it's pretty thick. You also have a lot of writing space since the pages are so much bigger. That's basically all I spent on the Filofax. I also purchased a few items just to personalize it a little more, but I only spent around 10 euros. If you don't buy the Filofax accessories and just start looking in a good office supply store for other things, you're gonna find a lot of things that fit in there but are just way cheaper than the Filofax accessories. And everything else you're gonna need is just a few ideas, a little bit of creativity, and maybe a good printer that can also print photos and papers in different sizes. And that's basically it. Yeah, but without further ado, I think we should get started because I'm just rambling on and I'm sure you just want to see how I set everything up. So this is the Filofax Domino Patent in hot pink in the size A5. This is what it looks like from the front. From the back, right here you have a little Filofax logo. This is what it looks like from the side. Here you can see how thick it is. You can actually fit quite a lot of stuff into this Filofax. Alright, so I'm gonna open it up. So this is the first thing you will see when you open up my Filofax. I put some motivating quotes here on the side, which I found on Instagram. Whenever I like a quote, I just do a screenshot and later I print it out on photo paper and I just stuck it on there with some washi tape. For this Filofax, I purchased these two washi tapes. They were around €3.50 each, and these are the only ones I bought for this Filofax. Right here I have a little clear envelope, and in here I keep some stickers which I use for my household system. I used the same system already in my last Filofax setup. This is my household system from last year. Whenever I had to do laundry, I would just like put a sticker with an L on that date and then like the color I had to wash. And I also had one for cleaning the bathroom, vacuuming or mopping the floor or whatever I had to do. This is what it would look like. So on that day I washed laundry in gray colors, and then I also cleaned the bathroom and I went grocery shopping, and I actually put the amount in there, so I went shopping for 25 euros. I used to stick little sticker letters in there, but then throughout the year I kind of noticed it's just a little too much work, so I just write the letters on the little dots. I still use the same system this year, except that I just did not do like a page that explains everything, because by now I know all of the dots and what they mean. Right here I have a clear envelope that came with the Filofax already. In it I keep my gratitude journal. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it has like a golden fabric outside, so I don't want it to get destroyed. So that's why I keep it in here. I try to write in this gratitude journal every day. I just write down things I'm thankful for, things that were great and positive on that day. And this just puts me in a really good mood. When you turn this envelope, the first thing you will see is my cover page. This is actually a photo paper. It was in the size A4 and I cut it in half, so that makes it an A5. And I just made a collage of pictures and quotes that I really like, and I just printed them on there. This is actually a picture of my fiance and I, and this is our cat Clarence. On top of it, I have a transparent flyleaf that came with this Filofax, and I just secured it on here with some tape on the sides, and that's basically it. When I flip the cover page, the first thing you will see is my dashboard. This is made of a thicker material. I'm not sure what this is called in English, but I'm just gonna link it right here somewhere. I have it here so I can just stick any sticky notes on there. I also have this ribbon here so I can stick some bigger papers or letters in here. I have the same system on the back, so in here I have a letter and a little card, and this is just really easy and like keeps everything in one spot, so I don't have to put all of the sticky notes and post-its everywhere around my desk. The first section in my Filofax is my block planner. This one I actually paid for. I found it on Etsy and I think I paid around €8 for it, but then afterwards I discovered that you can get a lot of printable block planners and things like that for free on Pinterest, so that's really unfortunate that I didn't see it at first, but I'm really happy with my block planner, so that's okay. I'm gonna link the Etsy shop in the info box if you're interested in this one. And when you open that section, there is another nice quote. Here I have my yearly statistics, so I'm gonna write here the number of posts and views and everything that happened during each month of the year on my blog. Right here I have a list for random articles and video ideas, and I just printed that on a paper that came with the Filofax, and I actually also printed a quote on here as well. By this point you can probably guess that I'm really into quotes. I just find that really motivating. I love opening my Filofax and making it a positive place, so whenever I open it, like I'm in a good mood and there's like so much motivation in there. Like there's no way you can be in a bad mood or be discouraged when you read all of these quotes. Right here I keep my 3-month planner. I actually designed this myself and just printed them on like really thick A5 papers, and I put them in there so you can always, like, you know, you have them always in order and you don't have to turn the Filofax all the time. And the point of these is that whenever I write something on my idea list, I can just place the ideas according to the month they're gonna be published. So this really helps you with planning the year. Like posts that have to do with Valentine's Day, I just put them in the February box, and the same goes for the entire year. Here I have a monthly blog planner, which is also from the same Etsy store. And here I'm just gonna put all of the posts for each and every single day and then just check them off. I've already decorated the first page a little bit. Here are the pages for the following month. And then I have the to-do list that came with this Filofax, and I have them in here. So here I have all of the things I need to do on my blog, and that's the blog section. And here's already my financial section. I just put money on here because that's a shorter word than finances. This picture I actually found on the internet as well, and I just printed it on an A5 paper and stuck it onto the index card with a little bit of washi tape. And since this section is all about money, I have some quotes regarding money on here. And right here I have a clear envelope, which is not by Filofax. This is just a regular envelope in the size A5. It had different holes on there, so I just put some washi tape on there to cover them up and then put my own holes in there. Here I wrote spendings on there because this is where I collect all of the receipts when I was spending some money during that month. And the next envelope is my income envelope. So in here I track all of the money I made during that month. So the point is to collect everything during the month, and then when the month is over, I will just take them out and put them in a bigger binder. Here's one of the printables I found on Pinterest. So this is my blog income tracker. So I will just put down the companies I worked with, what I wrote on, and how much they paid me. Then I have the same thing for my blog expenses, where I will track how much I spent on my blog. Then I also have a blog blog freebie tracker because some companies don't actually pay you with money but with products, and here I can track that and actually put the estimated value in there too. This is also something I found on Pinterest. This is a bill payment log, so I'm just gonna write down all of the expenses I have throughout the year, like my rent, the telephone bills, the gym membership, and I just write down what it is, how much I have to pay, the date that it is due, and then I can check it off for every month. Some things aren't due every month, but maybe every quarter or only once a year. So I thought of making a circle for whenever it is due and then just checking that off. So for the rent, of course, I would have to make all circles and then check them all off. But then for my gym membership, for example, I would only put one circle because it's only due once a year and check it off right there. Now we're moving on to my health section. So I put health on that index tab, and I also put some health quotes in there, which I find really inspiring and motivating. And in here I have everything that has to do with my health insurance and just doctors I've been to. This envelope is actually not by Filofax. This cost me only a few cents. And I also bought tiny envelopes, which I stuck on there with a little bit of washi tape. And in here I keep all of the cards of the doctors I've been to. So whenever I need to make an appointment at a dentist, I know right away which one to call. And in the bigger envelope, I keep all of my information about my health insurance. Here I have some prescriptions or new appointments for doctors. And here I also have some extra pages whenever I need to make notes. The next section is dedicated to my family. So here is me and my fiance. I really like this picture because we don't actually have any snapshots of us. We always have like nice pictures where we look really nice in the camera, but I really like this one. So here's everything that has to do with my family, including our cat Clarence. So he has his own section, and I actually divided up the family section into even smaller sections and made smaller index cards. And because they are smaller, I actually cut the paper as well on the side so it doesn't cover up all of the other cards. And here I just track my cat's weight because I just want to make sure he's not losing weight. The next section is called gift ideas. So on it I printed a birthday calendar, and in here I write all of the gift ideas I have for people I want to buy presents for. So whenever I have an idea throughout the year, I just write it down, and then when Christmas and birthdays come up, I have a whole list of things to choose from. I put this over here so you can read it because I'm pretty sure my fiance is gonna look at this video later and I don't want him to know what he's getting for Christmas. Here is my fiance section. I actually don't have anything written down in there yet. I only made it because he doesn't have a personal planner, and I just have a section for him in here. So because sometimes like he doesn't know his shirt size or his pant size, and I just like to write it down for him. The next section is my contact section. I called it peeps because that's a shorter word than contacts, and I was running out of space. This business card holder is actually from my Filofax in the personal size. I just took it out and stuck it in there with some washi tape. Same goes for this envelope with the zipper right here. I just really like these, and I thought I'm just gonna reuse them in this Filofax. And in here I keep some extra stamps because I thought that's the right spot to keep them, since this is all about contacts and writing letters. And then when you turn the page right here are all of the contacts. These pages came already with the Filofax. The last section in my Filofax is actually a mixed section. I haven't done anything to it yet because I'm not sure how I'm gonna use it or what I'm gonna do with it. I thought of making a wish list, a bucket list, a list of movies and books I want to read, and also maybe some information on holidays I want to go and track that in there. But since I'm not 100% sure, I've decided to just leave it for now. And now we're moving on to the actual calendar for 2015. All of the informations that came with Filofax, like international holidays, I just put them together with a big clip because I don't need them on a daily basis. This Filofax came with a week on 2 pages calendar, and for each week I printed out a weekly blog planner. This is also from that same Etsy store, and in here I can just write down the blog title, when I want to post it, on what date, and check off if I've shared it on all of my social media sites. I actually printed that page for every single week of the year, and I also have another huge post-it in here because I really like these, because whenever I have an idea I can just write it down and then take it out and maybe take it to the kitchen. Whenever I have a new idea for a smoothie recipe, for example, I will write it down in the kitchen while I'm doing the smoothie and then just stick it in here and work on my blog post. On the back of each weekly post planner, I printed the brainstorm ideas. I've never used anything like this before, so I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or if I'm going to like it, but I have it here just in case. So this is the calendar itself. I haven't come up with a perfect system for each day of the week or for the weeks yet, since I haven't started the year yet, so there's actually nothing I can show you in here. And then in the very back of this Filofax, I have some room for notes. So if I'm writing a new article, I can just put all of my research information on here. This is actually not from Filofax. This is just a cheap one I got at an office supply store. I think it cost me only 79 cents. And I also put my washi tape here on top so it looks a little bit nicer, and it just matches the entire theme I have going on in here. So this was my Filofax setup for 2015. I hope you liked it. I hope it was helpful and it gave you a little bit of inspiration for your own personal planner or your own Filofax. If you have any questions, suggestions, critique, whatever you want to say, just leave everything in the comment box. And if you take a look in the info box, I'm gonna link the old video from my old Filofax setup, and I'm also gonna link to my blog where there's more information on setting up a personal planner. Thank you so much for watching. I wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!